You've probably heard the old saying, it's better to let 100 guilty criminals go free than to imprison one innocent person. Well, shame on the corrupt authorities who completely ignore this principle. Today, we're diving into some shocking cases where these power-abusing crooked cops have failed to protect the innocent and instead turned their lives into a nightmare. Get ready, because this is going to be a wild ride. It was the early hours of October 12, 2021, when Sergeant Damon McMillan and Deputy Hayden from the Pope County Sheriff's Office found themselves in the middle of a bizarre misunderstanding. Picture this: it's 5 a.m. and Corey Jones, a dedicated homeowner, is out in his yard in Pope County, Arkansas, with a headlamp strapped on and a corded halogen light shining from a sturdy tree. He's simply enjoying some peaceful yard work. The crisp autumn air adds a refreshing touch to the tranquil morning. But then things took a strange turn. A concerned neighbor, mistaking Corey's diligence for suspicious activity, decided to call the cops. Before Corey knew it, law enforcement officers were detaining him on his own property.
Since you guys approached me, I feel a little strange right here. I don't mean no harm right here. I'm gonna come right here.
This bewildering scene unfolded as Corey, just trying to mind his own business, was suddenly confronted by the authorities, leading to a series of events that left everyone scratching their heads. Sergeant Damon McMillan and Deputy Hayden sprang into action the moment they got the call, speeding to the scene without delay. Upon arrival, they kicked off their investigation by chatting with the worried neighbor to get the lowdown on the situation. Next, they made their way to Mr. Jones's property, eager to have a face-to-face with him and see what was going on for themselves.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Walking along the fence out there, and wouldn't identify himself, wouldn't tell us what he was doing here. And freaking the horses out.
Yeah, I pulled up. I worked nights, and I pulled up to feed the horses, and I was all the way in there. I heard a crackle, and he was over. It's a guy in a white T-shirt, and he was back over there, like with the T-posts. Yeah, right up back over there. And he was there for probably 10 minutes. And I hollered out the window after I got in and locked the car. And I hollered out the window, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he said something. And then I watched. He went back and forth and like was shining and went back and forth. And then I think it went back over there, and I don't know whether he went along the fence line there.
See, what are you doing? Get over here. You don't want me to see you. You might want to turn the light off. The police, come here. He's not over there. He just tied the light to a tree.
You're kidding.
Looks like it. There's a light on the tree, so I'm sure that's probably what he did.
What the heck is he doing? And I mean, it's fine. It's not our property, but it was
Right.
just so close, and it just scared me.
Well,
you
it's
know?
probably scared him that I'm here, but I'm sure he's going to pop out of the wood line during the day, and I'm going to get a call on him walking down the road.
The neighbor mentioned that at 5 a.m., she stepped out of her car and spotted a guy pacing in the woods, a headlamp shining brightly on his head. That's when she decided to call the cops. The officers didn't waste any time and dove right into questioning. Check it out.
I'm not gonna go over there. What are you doing? Well, how's it going?
The neighbor called. You live out here? Yeah. I know you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
So what are you doing out in the woods?
I'm just hanging out, you know.
Well, you're trespassing. You can't do it now.
I'm not trespassing right here.
You're not. Whose property is this?
This is my property right here.
It is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, what are you doing in here scaring this old lady at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I just figured, you know, it'd be a good time to get started
Get started doing what?
on my work.
What work?
I'm working right here. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you live here, right?
What's your address?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you live out here, we'll go. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
I understand. What's just since you guys approached me,
Uh-huh.
I feel a little strange right here. I don't mean no harm right here. I'm gonna come right here.
She's saying somebody's trespassing. Do you live out here?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number? I can't quite see it.
It's Hayden Saffold, 1602.
Saffold?
Saffold, yeah.
16. And you, sir?
You live out here in these woods or in a house?
What's your name and badge number?
What's your house? Where's your house at?
I was curious of your. I mean,
Well,
Are you not
totally
re-
understand that. I'll tell you in a minute, okay? I know you're recording me. But you got to understand, I'm asking you a question. Do you live in these woods or do you live in a house?
you guys approached me. I mean, you could
because
tell me.
right now, I believe you're trespassing until you prove otherwise. You are committing a crime.
Well, is this America? Are we innocent until proven guilty? You're telling me I'm guilty of
So
trespassing right here?
I'm asking you your address because I want to know if you live on this property. Because you could just be telling me that.
I have the Fifth Amendment right. I don't have to answer any questions. I would like to alleviate you guys' worries.
So you can't prove to me that you live on this property.
Sure, I could.
Okay, well then you probably need to do that.
Or you're going to arrest me?
Might have to, yeah.
Remember, the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution gives you the right to stay silent if you don't want to answer any questions. When the officer warned Mr. Jones about the possibility of arrest, if he couldn't prove he owned the land, it was a tense moment. However, Mr. Jones wasn't legally obligated to prove his ownership or assist the officers with their investigation. Despite that, if the officers had enough evidence to believe he was trespassing, they could still arrest him.
I mean, can you not see that I'm out here doing work?
We can see that, but she called because she's saying that you're on her property.
And I've been out here for 30 minutes yelling and you didn't come out until now.
Well,
You didn't
I've got to
see
get
me?
my kids off to. No, I didn't. I've been back and forth. I've carried some stuff up here to get ready to
I'm
work.
asking you live here. You live in a house, right? What's your address?
Sir, honestly, I don't want to answer any more questions because.
Okay, you understand you've been accused of trespassing. Now, if you can prove to me you live here, then I'll leave.
Well, whose property is this?
That's what I'm asking. Can you prove
Maybe
to me
you
this
should
is your
ask the
property?
complainant. You haven't even given me your name or your badge number.
Did you do all this at 5 in the morning to get me out here? So you
No,
can make a
I
YouTube
did not
video?
get. No, I didn't.
Because I think you might have.
No, I don't even intend to post this unless it goes the wrong way. I mean,
So if you get what you want, you won't post it. But if you
No,
get
I'm not-
arrested,
listen,
Then
sir.
you're gonna post
No,
it,
this
make
is
you
not my
look
intention
bad.
with this video to make you look
what
bad.
are you doing?
I am.
It's not often wandering around the woods at 5 a.m. scaring people. What I want to know is, do you own this property and what is your address? It's a simple question that I am allowed to ask because right now I think you're trespassing.
Well, I'm also allowed to not answer it if I don't.
So you answering the question could prove you innocent, but you're not going to, right?
For the prosecutor to secure a conviction, they'd need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Jones was guilty, which is no easy feat. Arresting someone requires less evidence than convicting them in court. The officers only needed to have a reasonable belief that a crime was happening to establish probable cause. In other words, they needed enough facts or evidence to make a reasonable person think a crime was being committed. If Mr. Jones was arrested for trespassing after refusing to prove his ownership, a court might still find that the arrest was justified, even if he couldn't ultimately be convicted of the crime.
Well, sir, you're mistaken.
Okay, let's go this way. What's your name?
Are you going to arrest me for loitering on my property?
No, I'm going to run your name, see what your address is. I have a right to do that because you're accused of a crime right now. So what's your name?
So have I not dispelled your suspicions?
Yes or no? No, because I don't even know who you are. Is it a yes or no question, or are you going to tell me your name or not?
If you gotta get your kids, you gotta get your
Yes, I do. Am I going to be arrested if I do not tell you my name?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Because I don't know where you live at, and I don't know if you belong on this property.
Sir, I live right here. I belong right here.
Then tell me your address. Tell me your name so I can run it.
I'll tell you my address. My address is 311 Paravilla.
Okay. And what's your name?
Are you going to arrest me if I don't give you my name?
You're accused of a crime. You have to give me your name so I can know whether you're supposed to be here or not. You could just be telling me that. All you're doing, and I think what you did this morning was wanted the police out here.
No, I do not want the police out here. I've got work I'm trying to get done. I've got to leave to go off to work soon.
I would like to go off and go do some work too, but I'm still dealing with you because you're pulling this anti-government stuff on me. Tell me
It's not
name.
anti-government. This is my place.
Okay, prove that to me by telling me your name.
What was your name?
I will tell you in a minute. I asked first, you tell me your name.
Are you required?
Yes, I am.
Look at the flip side of it, man. What if you called us?
Yes. And some guy just said, "Oh yeah, this is mine. Bye. I won't tell you your name."
Because all we
How do I know that? How do I know what you're telling me is true if you can't tell me your name or won't? Because
You got here getting started work on early. I completely understand that, but right now all we have is we know she lives there. She's called. And
Well, I'm sorry that I alarmed her.
Well, that's the only reason.
And I'm sorry that we got off on the wrong foot.
You're giving me a hard time.
Well, you haven't told me.
You're doing it on purpose, and you know that you are.
I know that I have rights, sir, and I don't like them to be infringed upon.
Let me ask you this. If you called and somebody was on your property and I came out and the guy said, "Oh yeah, it's mine. You have a nice day. I'm not telling you anything." Hold on. And I drove off and you said, "Well, why didn't you do something with that guy?" And I said, "Well, he refused to tell me his name." You'd be happy with that, right? I don't know this is your property.
What I would suggest, sir, is maybe you get with her, one of you guys. I mean, if you want to hold me here and detain me, I understand. If you want to get with her and just make sure that this isn't her property, and maybe you're on the wrong.
You can't prove it's yours.
I can prove it's mine.
Then tell me.
I don't intend to answer any questions.
You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
Can't find you back.
Yes, sir.
So until we know.
Am I detained or am I under arrest?
Right now you're detained until I figure out who you are.
My wife is actually asleep. I need to get them to school.
In Arkansas, the law allows people to place individuals under protective custody for psychiatric assessment if they pose an immediate threat to themselves or others. This process, known as involuntary commitment, aims to ensure everyone's safety and well-being. The law clearly states that anyone who has attempted or threatened serious harm to themselves or others should be evaluated. But remember this, what happened here was completely unjustified. This was an illegal seizure under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Despite Mr. Jones' efforts to explain his situation, the officers ignored his side of the story and arrested him anyway.
You told me your name, but I've been gone 10 minutes ago. But this will make for a great YouTube video, won't it? Where you want to go? Huh? Your property, obviously, isn't it? Well, we're going this way.
Would you like for me to go?
I want you to walk this way so we can go to my car.
Are you going to release me if I give you my name?
Well, I've asked you how many times and you've refused.
Well,
We're going to go down there, we're going to run your fingerprint.
I've also asked you your name and your badge number.
No law says I have to give you my name. It'll be on your arrest report.
Is it not in your policy?
No, it's not.
So, are you telling me that if I give you my identification right now that you'll let me go?
I'm telling you that if I can identify you and prove that you're not committing a crime by trespassing on this property, I might let you go. And we could have done this 20 minutes ago. Now I'm thinking you're having some mental problems and we might need a screening. Why are you doing this? Why are you making it so hard? I think you did it on purpose so you could get a video.
No, I
That's
didn't.
communicating a false alarm.
No, I didn't.
Then what are you doing?
I'm working.
Anybody would, okay. And when the police show up, go, "Hey, my name's Bob. I live here." Okay, great. I would have left. All you're doing is making this hard on yourself. You think you're being funny? Because you're not. Lots of other work I could have been doing. But I just can't take your word. "Oh, this is mine." Bye, officer. I'd look like a real idiot, wouldn't I?
Was I doing anything wrong?
Yes.
One officer hinted that Mr. Jones might have mental health issues and warned that he could face a psychiatric evaluation. However, Mr. Jones showed no signs of such behavior or actions. Nonetheless, the officers took him for an evaluation.
You were accused of it, and until I can prove that you're not, by simply giving me your name and I can get your address, we would have left. You're the one keeping me here this long. Because for some reason, and I don't know why, you just want to make this so hard. Why? Are you just anti-government and hate the police? What?
No, I'm pro civil rights.
Well, right now, all we hear is her side, man. You're not hit like we're going.
Look at it from the side of a police officer. If you said, hey, this is my property, you need, and I just left, and it turns out you were a wanted murderer, I'd look like a real idiot, wouldn't I? Would you like it if I did that to your family? Your wife called me and said there's a guy walking around over here scaring me.
Somebody accuses me of murder?
No. You know what? The more I talk to you, the worse you get. I think I'm done talking to you. We're just going to go run your fingerprints.
I don't consent to any searches.
Well, you're going in my car, so you are. And yes, I know, you're going to post that video and you're going to sue me and everything else. No need to tell me. Okay? Or do you want to get this over with and tell me your name?
If you tell me
the last time I'm going to ask
if you tell me that you will let it go, if I give you my identification, I will give you my identification.
I don't know that I should let you go. I really think right now you might have some mental health problems, and I think we might need to go see a doctor. Would you like for me to stop and tell your wife where you're going? No? Okay, well, you stare at me then. I don't care.
Do you want somebody to tell her?
I would like to call her.
Well, that'll happen after we figure out who you are. In order to do that, I'm going to have to run your fingerprints, and it takes a couple of hours. So after you sit there for a couple of hours waiting on your fingerprints to come back, then...
Sir, if I give you my identity, will you let me
You've
go?
had about 10 chances to tell me your name, and you ain't done it yet.
I also asked you.
I don't care what you ask me. I'm asking the questions, not you. You need to lay it off. The YouTube stuff, because all it's doing is making it worse, man.
He was brought to the Pope County Detention Center, where they confirmed he was the rightful owner of the property he was on and not a random trespasser. Despite everything, Jones went through processing and was cited for obstructing governmental proceedings because he refused to identify himself. After that, county records show that a hearing for the charge was set for December 14, 2021. But Jones didn't show up or pay the fine, leading to an additional charge of failure to appear, a Class A misdemeanor. If you thought that was the end of such cases, think again. Just wait until you see this next one. Corrupt cops. These officers are seriously crossing the line. Violence and abusing their authority aren't the only tricks up their sleeves. Sometimes they even plant evidence against you. Sounds like the opposite of what they should be doing, right? Well, this case is a textbook example.
A little bit of weed.
On March 13, 2018, Officer Kyle Erickson and his partner pulled over Jason Serrano and his friend for an allegedly broken taillight. What could have been a routine stop quickly took a turn for the worse when the officer tried to plant evidence against them. Take a look.
Car smells like marijuana, so we're gonna check it, all right?
Okay,
Then that's it. Then I gotta make sure everything's good with your end. Just get the taillight fixed. There's nothing in the car, you'll be good to go, all right?
Officer Kyle claimed that their car emitted a distinct smell, and he was pretty sure it was marijuana. The officers then announced they were going to search the car. Under the law, citizens have the right to refuse a search. However, if the police have probable cause to believe someone has committed a crime, they can bypass that right and search without the person's consent. The smell of weed from the car can technically count as probable cause, giving officers the green light to investigate the property. And because it's almost impossible to contest this while reviewing body cam footage, it often becomes a convenient excuse for corrupt cops to initiate a search without the suspect's permission or a warrant.
Check the car, so I need you to hop out.
Okay, I'm getting out.
Okay.
Relax. I don't have nothing for you. I can tell you doing.
Hang out with me.
I don't have nothing in my jacket. I'm not.
Okay, well, he's gonna check it.
I don't have nothing in. No.
Relax.
No, I don't need to.
This situation is about to escalate for no reason.
No, because I didn't do nothing.
It was in the car.
No, this is on
you
me.
need to relax.
It's my possession. Come on.
Relax. Relax.
Put that jacket down right now.
Put the jacket down. Cuff him up.
Jason had been handcuffed for almost 20 minutes by the time the ambulance arrived. Spectators could see he was in visible pain from the takedown. The force used was completely excessive. Soon after the search began, they scoured the car but found nothing. That's when panic set in. They started to panic, fully aware that this investigation was heading nowhere fast. They'd already hurt Jason, and with nothing incriminating in the car, they were in deep trouble. All they'd done was search a car without a warrant, use unnecessary excessive force, and unlawfully detain an innocent person.
She has a proper documentation for the plates. Temporary registration is valid. Just ran her permit only. He doesn't have a driver's license. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just seeing my partner found anything yet.
See nothing.
Nothing?
But the officer wasn't backing down. He had a plan to cover his tracks, knowing that if they found something illegal, it would justify their actions. At this point, it wasn't about justice. It was about saving their own jobs. They were scrambling to protect themselves. But what about Jason? The officers were desperate for any evidence. Just a tiny piece would do. Their frustration grew as they searched the vehicle and found nothing.
But here's where things start to take a dark and shady turn.
When they failed to find anything, they decided to get creative in a dark way.
See nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of weed.
One officer planted a small pinch of marijuana in the cup holder, a spot he had already checked 1,000 times. The way he planted the evidence without a second thought makes us suspect this wasn't his first time framing innocent people to boost his career. His actions suggested that this might just be part of his everyday routine at work.
You good? Good? Yeah.
And then he conveniently found evidence that justified his actions and suspicions, leading to a case being filed against Jason. The case stated that Jason was pulled over by the cops, and soon after, they claimed to smell marijuana in his car. According to their report, Jason became extremely defensive and combative, forcing them to take him down and search his vehicle. During the investigation, they found marijuana in his cup holder, and even more incriminating, they discovered flakes of it in his jacket. Consequently, Jason was charged with marijuana possession, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration. The whole situation was so unfair. It took a full 2 years for this crucial camera footage to come to light, finally leading to the dismissal of Jason's charges. But shockingly, the officers responsible for this disgraceful act faced no repercussions. Yes, no repercussions. Imagine if that footage had never surfaced. Jason's life could have taken a devastating turn, all while he was completely innocent. And this isn't an isolated incident. There could be countless other videos out there, capturing the real culprits but leaving innocent people to bear the blame. Why? Just to justify their suspicions. Sure, they might have feared for their jobs, but did they ever consider the gravity of their actions? Did they realize they were destroying lives with just one careless move? How would you handle such a gross injustice? Would you stay calm or react with anger? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found today's video compelling, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Turn on notifications so you never miss out on our videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time.